Anyways, episode 9, Search and Destroy. Yeah, I've been forgetting to call the titles of the episodes lately. Whatever. That ad is very distracting. I'm gonna get rid of that. There we go. Anyways, Search and Destroy. So, the professor, who's, I learned is played by Joel. His name is hard to pronounce, so I'm not even gonna bother pronouncing it. Anyways, they go to what's based in the southeast, which is this location that's essentially Chernobyl. Essentially Chernobyl. Buildings are wrecked, assuming a lot of people died there. It's abandoned. The story was that it was a sort of expansion to Vale, but apparently it didn't go so well. And it's overrun by creatures of Grimm and actual monsters called Grimm. Anyways, they get there, and, guess who RWBY decided to bring? Zwei, the little doggy. And I do have to give credit, though. I like this, though, in that the dog wasn't a distraction or getting, in the way of anything. No, the dog's well-behaved and knows better than to get lost or to get entangled with monsters and whatnot. Anyways, they're here for research purposes, and so basically what it is, just the professor telling them to fight off a horde of monsters while he does research. But while this is all happening, he asks each of them along the way, except RWBY, why did you want to become a huntress? For Yang, it's more of just for the fun of it all, really. She wants to fight monsters and help people along the way. She wanted to travel and see the world. For Weiss, it's more of just she has to uphold her family name. For Blake, it's more of just she feels it's a duty she has to do, but to what extent does she have to do it, and to how far does she have to go with it? Which seems to be the question. But he doesn't ask RWBY, though RWBY does ask him, and he has a pretty good answer actually. Well, they're all what it is, RWBY and what it is, they fight just monster after monster with not much actually happening. I forgot to mention RWBY. So RWBY does bring Zwei with them, and what it is, he's in her backpack, and I love that the moment he sees Zwei, he's like, "This is genius! You bring a dog that has the sniffing and hearing smell and hearing capabilities better than us humans." So I thought that was kind of unique. Yeah. But I like that Zwei doesn't become a pain or a problem or anything. So RWBY asks the professors, why did you become a huntsman? To which he replies saying, just look around you. What I see, they're looking at the ruined city. It's I see lives that could have potentially been saved. He says, I became a huntsman because it's the only thing that really matters. It's the only thing that would have any sort of effect. Which I think that's a pretty unique answer, I must say. I just think that's a unique insight into him. I think the character's a little over the top, though. Very, all over the place and whatnot. Sort of zips here. But before the episode begins, it seems that Team Juniper is staying at Beacon, along with Neptune and Sun are also there as well. Seriously, are they part of some team? I don't know. Where are the other two guys? But we'll see where this goes. They all camp out in just some abandoned building. And while RWBY and the professor are gone, Wise, Blake, and Yang, they all sort of talk about this idea of duty and responsibility. Basically what Blake was saying, but just sort of to what extent are they here for, and what's the impact that they hope to have in all of this. Bad things are going to happen, but when are they going to happen? How are they going to deal with that type thing? Which, I'm glad they're talking about stuff like that. I think that's important. Excuse me. But yeah, apart from that, it's neat. I love the setting. It feels very Chernobyl-esque, a ruined city. Everything's all gray, just weird things running around. Almost like that. My favorite level of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. When you play as Captain Price and you're in Chernobyl, the 2 levels. I like the first level a little more because it's hey, it's we're just trying to get through this place and just look at the hellhole that it is. But yeah, I like that, just them walking through this just abandoned city fighting monster after monster. And we actually see what these big grim things are. They're basically giant elephants. They look like the creatures. They got black skin and the bony things with the orange symbols on them. But I think he says Yeah, it would take like more. It would take all four of you plus to take just one of these things down, and they're probably a few hundred years old each. But hmm. But yeah, I think it's a nice episode. I think it was a little like repetitive, like go here, fight monsters. He goes on. He asks one of them a question. Yada yada yada. Lather, rinse, repeat for all three of them. I'm curious why he didn't ask Ruby, but then again, probably something that'll be unveiled soon enough. But that's all I have to say for now. So see you next episode. Bye.